In this tutorial we're going to make flames and fire as we see here, but they can be added to any object. So firstly we'll get rid of that image and we want to make a new image. We'll make it 1200 pixels by 1200 pixels and a resolution of 300 pixels per inch, and we'll call it Flamin' Pizza. Okay, first thing to do is to fill it with black. If the default colors are in the toolbox with black over white, that'll be Alt backspace. Let's open the layers panel. Now the type tool, and we'll have a basic font like Times will be fine. Quite a large one, 72 points, and we set the color to white. Type in pizza, and with the move tool we'll position it lower down on the screen. Yeah, that'll do there. Now we want to combine these two layers, combine our pizza layer and the background into a new layer, and for that we'll use the commands Control Alt Shift and E, or if you're on a Mac, Command Alt Shift and E. So we've now got an extra layer combining those two. Next we have to rotate this. Go to Edit, Transform and rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. Now filter, stylize wind. We want the wind section and from the right as we've got here. Click OK. Now to increase the wind effect we're going to use the filter 3 more times. That's Control F or Command F. 1, 2, 3. Now we rotate it back to the horizontal. Edit, Transform, rotate 90 degrees clockwise. We want to soften this a little bit, so we'll have some Gaussian blur. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Just a little, perhaps, let's see, 2. No, yes, 2 is enough. Give it 2. Now we want to add some color. Hue and saturation is the best here, so we go to Image, Adjustments, Hue, Saturation. Click on the Colorize button and we'll give a hue of, I want a yellowish color, 40, and quite a strong, so we push the saturation up to 100. That's fine. Now we need to copy this layer, so we drag it to the Create New Layer icon, and we're going to give this a different color. So hue and saturation again, which is Control U or Command U. Colorize, we'll have hue at 0 and saturation 100 again, which will give us a strong red. OK. Change the mode for the top layer to color dodge. Now we can see the red and the orange combined. We'll join these two layers together, which is Control E, merging them, or Command E. Next we want to make these flames look more interesting, and for that we'll go to Filter and Liquify. For this we want the Forward Warp tool, which is in the top left corner, and it's the top item in the Liquify toolbox. And brush size, well, we don't want a big brush for this. It's best to do it gradually. 100% density. Brush pressure we'll have just at 70. It gives us a bit more control. And we start brushing up these flames, giving them a wiggle as we go, just to make them more realistic. And we can keep going over the flames to pull them up further. It's a little slower this way by using a small brush, but it does give us more control and it won't run away from us completely. I'm starting the brush in the letter itself to draw up some of the white, then the orange and red. That's a start. Now we're going to use a smaller brush. We'll make pressure lower as well, just to add a few refinements to it. And that's a bit too refined. You can keep changing the brush size and pressure a lot to give variety. Let's have a bit more pressure. To draw the flames out. And it's really entirely a matter of taste here, just how far you want to take it and how wild you want it. Let's have a bit more over this side. Pull that one up a bit. There we are. If you're not happy with the way the flames are looking, you can cancel that and reset and start again. Hold down the Alt key and the cancel button changes to reset. Click on that and then you can make a fresh start. But this looks alright for now, so we'll click OK. Next we want to copy the original type layer by dragging it onto the Create New Layer icon. And we move it above layer 1. Now we're going to change this type layer into a normal layer by going to Layer, Rasterize, Type. We want to select these letters, so hold Control or Command on a Mac and click on the layer, and that gives us our selection. With the default colors in the toolbox of black over white, we're going to fill this selection with black by going to Alt Backspace. Now we cancel the selection with Control D or Command D. In the Layers panel, duplicate layer 1, and a shortcut for this is Control J or Command J, and put this copy to the top of the list. Now change its mode to screen. We want to add a mask to this layer, so with layer 1 copy active, at the bottom of the layers panel click on the Add Layer Mask icon. We're going to use the gradient tool on this mask, so choose the gradient tool from the toolbox, and we want linear, the first one on the list, and choose the black and white of the presets. Now we drag the tool over the mask, over the letters, that's what we're concerned with. I've got too much grey there. We want quite a strong line between the white and the black, so I'll do it lower down. If you find it's reversed, that you've got the black on top and the white underneath, then just click on the reverse button in the option bar at the top. That'll change the way the gradient tool works. But we're okay here, and I want a slightly stronger line there between those two, so I'll make a try again. That's better. I think we'll make that transition from white to black a bit more erratic, so let's have the smudge tool, and we'll choose a brush size of try 60 or so and 50% hardness, and just we'll have a little less hardness here. It makes it less uniform if we mess around like this. The two square brackets will change the size of a brush, and shift square brackets will make the brush harder or softer. Now the mask is taking too much colour out of the flames, so we'll use a black brush to remove some of the mask over the flames to reveal the colour underneath. That's better. Keep the brush soft and change its size as you go along, making it larger or smaller with the square brackets. Adjust it slightly here. If it's too much, hit X to change to a white brush and paint back some of the mask. Finally, we need to make our reflection. So we're going to combine all these layers into one new layer with Control Alt Shift E or Command Alt Shift E. That gives us layer 2 at the top of the pile, set its mode to screen and drop its opacity down to 50% for now. And we want the free transform tool, which is under edit, free transform, or control T or command T. Pull the top down and the bottom up to reverse it. Stretch it out a bit. Stretch it more there. We need a bit more space to stretch it down further. It can be moved up with the arrows just in line. Click there. Opacity, we can adjust the opacity. Maybe that's a bit too strong. That's definitely too strong, so maybe take it down to perhaps 40%, matter of taste. And here we have our flaming pizza. And this technique can be used on anything you like, really. Here it is as a phoenix, a bird of fire, a bird of flames rising from the ashes. And that's it.